So, and I am live on Rumble. My name is Mike Saha, and I'm a persecuted Christian target video targeted with government gang stalking of target videos. I've been targeted for more than a decade, which is the same as saying 10 years, with this government gang stalking persecution program. And there's several Christian ministries that have participated in the targeting me for the gang stalking program with narcissistic dog and abuse tactics in the videos. I think God is one of them. Do the Bible Church, another Christian ministry that targeted me for this persecution program called gang stalking. Jack's Mag 77 is not a Christian gang stalker, so-called perp. Robert Baker has started with narcissist dog abuse tactics. And that's how the YouTubers run from point targeting. It's narcissistic dog abuse tactics. Where it's like, let's say I subscribe to the Bible Church. Like today at the Northern before, being a Christian target video, the pastors will start working in narcissistic dog abuse tactics in the videos, which would be subtle, veiled psychological abuse tactics. It can be anything from communicating veiled threats to gaslighting. Okay, I can explain it to you, and this kind of applies to a lot of target tactics, making sense of it. One of the ways that the target individuals, like open. Well, put it like this, use myself an example. If I was a sellout, gang stalking persecutor, and Tom Stegall, the Bible church teacher, became target of this program, was targeted video, and let's say he had a childhood trauma where somebody threw a glass of milk in his face and then punched him in the mouth, something like this, and it's like a childhood trauma, and that happened when he was bullied in school, and then it's like he subscribes to my channel, and I'm a Christian gang stalker like they are, okay, and this is like explain it to you. And then it's like my handler tells me, okay, like in your next video, gets me to be like, yeah, I'm streaming. It's like, yeah, some people are Christians. They're so crazy and ugly that it's like they need a splash of milk in their face and a good smack on the butt or something like this. And to him, if you watch the video, he will know, oh, he's one of these gang stalkers. He worked in a reference to a childhood trauma that I had that the program knows about. And Mike got told to work this in to his video. And to other people, I look like a weird joke or story, something like this. It was like, yeah, some Christians are so naughty. They should get a splash of cold water in their face and wake up. Okay. Or maybe a glass of milk. See? It'd be kind of like a corny joke, but it's like the point is like making this person feel abused. Okay. And to other people, it just looks like the past is cracking a joke or using an example, an analogy to talk about something. See, this is how the talk works. Okay. And then it doesn't have to be childhood traumas, but that's one of the target tactics. Okay. It could be emulating the body language or abuse, like playing out a scene, was like in the body language. It'd be something happened to you as a child. It'd be like either the dress, they will wear something that the abuser wore, or use words or like mirror the abuser that abused you as a child in the body language or the expressions of like this. This can be part of like how they talk. Okay. So, and it doesn't only have to be like childhood traumas. Okay. But that's one of the types I have. Okay. So, which is this is narcissistic psychopathy. Okay. So anyway, that's the point. It can also be something else. It's another way to call targets individuals. Making references to things, making references to the target's private life. See? So I use myself example. If I was a gang stalker, Tom Seagal was being told, and part of the target is being spied on, listen to your phone calls, you look what you do on the computer, they know what you're watching. You know how on YouTube I have like a watch list. It's like history. So it's like if I watch a stream and I forgot to subscribe to the channel and hit a like or something like this, next day I go like watch history. And I go, oh, yesterday I watched this video on like how to make coconut milk or something like this. Okay. Do you understand? And I can find it in my list. It's like they have the same access. And as a matter of fact, on that topic, in technical, the level of surveillance is not like once a month the government gang stalking program sends like a letter to my ISP, and it's like the FBI equivalent, and like demands my uh, browsing history and goes like, oh, September 12, 0640, he visited this website. No, it's real time surveillance, which means if you watch my streams on YouTube and play video games, and screen sharing, and they're showing, so you're seeing in real time what the YouTube is seeing on the screen when they're playing video games. It's that level of surveillance that they have on everybody. And that's another thing on that topic. I hold to the fact, okay, I believe that everybody's being spied on. Okay. So don't get paranoid if you like said that talk the video and email talking on the phone now it's down they spy on it. They spy on everybody. The difference is that TIs know they're being spied on because the program spying on target videos will utilize intel that they got on the target through covert surveillance to customize psychological warfare, see, to target the person. Which brings it to my next point. What is another narcissistic dog abuse tactic on target videos? Let's say I end my stream right now, okay? And remember, they're listening in through your microphone and can watch me. So say if I turn this off and leave it there, they'll be tapping into my front camera, look at what I'm doing. Or possibly, like if it's not like real time, high resolution, I can take a picture every 10 seconds, something like this, okay? They tap into my microphone and listen to what I'm saying. So let's say I end this live stream, and I have like a fort. I start like farting or something like this, and like falling up my stomach, and like I go to the bathroom like have diarrhea crap. Okay, especially if it's something they think that you're embarrassed about. And when idiots like Jack Smack hear me talk like this, they think that it means I'm sensitive because I'm talking about a topic, which is the opposite of the truth. If I was sensitive and triggered when this was about to push, I wouldn't bring it up. It was obviously like, oh, I'm telling them this is ridiculous. But that's one of the things that they might do is like some of them go because they have a devalued version of the target too. Because I inspire narcissistic envy in the targeters, and they have a need to devalue you. That's part of dehumanize the victim too. So if you're gonna do atrocities like wicked things to a person, you need people to think they're witch, and you need to tell yourself the person witch. Because if the person is not a wicked demon creature, you doing what you've been doing to them would make you a really wicked evil creature. See, and I thought about this too, analyzing this. It's like the program works to like we want to do this like level of evil, okay, to the target. And the more evil they want to do, the more evil they need people to think that you are, say. So it needs to match that. So it's like, well, we want to be able to have people like spray chemicals on the target in the supermarket, like poison. Well, to be able to do that, we needed to think that the person is like a cannibal that wants to like abduct the children and like chop them up and eat them like a Hannibal Lecter or something like that. Okay. Now, if you could get people to think that's what the person is, it's easy to get to go along with spray chemicals or something like this, or help out and try to make you have an accident around the public, which I've also had. This program is not just narcissistic abuse. It's not just psychological warfare. That's like the bulk of the targeting that a target notices is going to be psychological warfare, narcissistic abuse. It's going to be harassment. It's going to be what's called narcissistic notice abuse types, narcissistic abuse. Okay, and also dogling, which means it's covert based. It's subtle. It's like hidden. So the target can detect the abuse, or you wouldn't feel abused. But the masters can't. And this is also part of dogville, where they can work to be like target you on the line from others, not allowed to target on the line, push your buttons on the line from others, baiting you, provoking you to respond to covert aggression with overt reactive aggression. And then you appear to be unhinged and a public person that's like angry, aggressive, and lashing out at people because they couldn't see the button pushing leading up to you lose your temper and lashing out. So, okay. I even had this once when I was live on TikTok as a tactic. And just to bring it out, it's like this is that type of stuff. When I was live streaming, and I was calm and like in a like not that worked at mental state, and people appreciating it and liking me and things like this and things like this. And it's like people come in like kitchen sink level attacks and check your filthy PDF document. Stop doing drugs, you filthy crackhead. You're so crazy and things like just like saying like the most like hurtful things you could try to come up with. Okay. And then like after like 30 minutes of being harassed by 30 people, something like a mob of people going and attacking me. So I finally go like, you piece of shit, you filthy whore or something like this. Okay. And then it's like the mask slips hard, which is like the gaslighting on top of it. It's like, yeah, exposed as a human having emotions. Okay. So it's like they basically like when you're enraged, lose your temper and like temporary insanity, going mad from being targeted, meaning you're not yourself. if you lose your shit, okay? But they'd be like in the inverse, it was like when you're calm and normal and like talking stream on TikTok, like yeah, so I'm exercising today. I like to do bicep hammer curls, and I took vitamin C before. It helps me to have energy and stuff like this. Okay, and just okay, and then it's like people come in, you have feel sick, but whatever, like kitchen sink like attacks, and then after like minutes and minutes of that, is I find like lose my temper, like ah fuck you, you piece of shit or something like this, and it's like the mask slips hard, as if they see that I'm like faking being so when you at your worst, that's the real you see. Like when you lose your temper and go mad and exhibit reactive abuse, it might not even be abuse. Maybe somebody deserves like abuse you, and you go like you're a piece of shit. Maybe that's warranted, and not like it coming as abuse. Even. See, mistreating. If somebody punched you in the face, you punched them back. In physical combat, that's like justified use of force. It's not abuse. If you hit somebody unprovoked for a good reason, it might be abuse. Okay. Now, if someone punches you, you hit them back. Is that abuse now? Okay. So whatever. Here's the point. Um, my point is this. So that's another bizarre thing that happened from the gang stalker point that pays people to harass me in the chat because Mike is live on TikTok and we have to work to control its perception of him because we're afraid that people are going to believe him. Okay. So we need to take his credibility and work to enrage him. And if he finally loses his temper, like, yeah, that's really the master sword. As if when I'm calm and not provoked, that's not my real self. But when I've been harassed for 30 minutes and lose my temper and like is enraged, that's the real you. The gas that will talk to you. Anyways, the point. Door is part of targeting, where they work to deny, attack, or reverse the offender, which means they will work to provoke you and harass you and target you. And then when you finally like lose your temper and kind of lash out, they will go, "Oh, you're an evil person. You are the problem. You're an evil, angry, bitter person." Okay, see, um, you have a temper problem. I've seen it all. It's like from Christian ministries too, or in this, where they'll be like kind of respond to what I'm doing, be like, "Yeah, you're an angry, bitter person." See, because you get harassed daily, and now and then you get angry at the harassment visibly. So you have a character problem of being an angry person. See, it's not that the problem is you being harassed every day, and people being harassed and not Jesus Christ Himself are gonna lose the temper and act out. Okay, eventually, to some shape or form. See, so like, no, you're the problem. Okay, then they can have people. Let's say next time we're gonna have a plumber come here, and the plumber recruits a plumber to be a fly monkey, and he gets told spray self-powered perfume before we go into Mike's house because the abusers know that I'm allergic to perfume. Okay, and then also there's some trigger words that like has been a theme in the last lot as the fly monkey we're told to use this specific word around me, and it can be connected to some kind of gaslighting narrative or sabotage or something like this. Okay, be like the program once communicates, we're going to murder you, or something like this. But with a cyberstalk in the chat, we're going to murder you. It could be something else that they do that's like, okay, this is cyberstalk confirmed. Work for the program, the behavior, okay? And it's like, we're going to take you out, or something like this. And then like 3 banana emojis. And then it's like the next day, another account shows up. You better watch your back, and 3 banana emojis after that. And they get blocked. Next, I go to the supermarket. A flying microphone controller will be a banana t-shirt while doing something else that's more than one of these people. And that would be just a visual symbol would be enough to remind me it'll be the same outcome as threatening we're gonna take you out again, see? Like a visual. Just by showing the banana again or 3 bananas, or like a guy eating banana while wearing a banana t-shirt by treating like, oh yeah, remember that thing. And that reminding you of a threat that Paul has communicated to you before. So you could be like, use this visual to communicate a veiled threat by just showing a visual. And it's plausibly deniable and dismissible as chance. And then notice how if you call it out to speak the truth, you're a paranoid person. See, you're paranoid. This guy's paranoid, like crazy, saw a guy in the supermarket with a banana t-shirt, and now he thinks he's a government agent who wants to kill him. See? Okay. So anyway, that's the point. One of the target tactics that Putin uses, narcissist always abuse tactics, explain it to. It's like I just talk about the 14, okay? Now, there might be a better example. Here's a better example. Let's say I end this stream, okay? And I call my wife, we wonderful, on a message video call, okay? And she's like, hey, honey, my, it's like, why is that? Well, my cat not come home, okay? and it hit quite hard so for this. And I go, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the program that took out your cat. Okay, that because they target pets. Okay, and they can target loved ones too. Like people that are around the target can target you. They can target them and pets. So like, and even if it wasn't, okay, just for psychological damage, if I go like, I would be surprised if it was the program that did this to kind of bother me. Okay, and then it's like next time I go to the supermarket, there's some people at the entrance of the supermarket as I'm passing, and like time to when I'm walking past, be like, yeah, you heard about Bob? His cat got killed, or something like this. See, and it's reference off for that like 30 minutes ago on the phone, I was having some stress and anxiety or something like this about, I think the program might have hurt that cat. It's very subtle, and just the timing can be enough to make you feel tolerant. So the timing is part of it. Where it's like another thing they could do is let's say I end this live stream and I go and I'm like, oh goodness, from the chamber. And I'm kind of humming a song as I see the song. Okay, as I kind of like washing this. I'm gonna sing from the chamber. I'm gonna, and it's not loud enough for the neighbors to hear me. Okay, but it's loud enough for the phone that I had in my pocket to pick up on the butt song singing. And it's like I finish washing dishes and I get dressed and I go outside to sort the trash. And then it's like there's a car in the parking lot that's like turns on the edge. It's like I'm gonna swing, and they have a CD with this song that I was humming like 17 minutes ago. See, where it's like a reference to something recently said, did, or was in private, and it doesn't have to be a sensitive topic. Like it's like I'm humming some song horribly bad, or it's like a feminine song, or it doesn't have to be that the subject matter or content or the activity is embarrassing. It's just it just that you will just they will reference something you recently said or did in private will be enough to make you feel harassed. Okay, because it's a violation of privacy. Be constantly reminded that this nefarious program that is out to hurt you is constantly watching everything you're doing in private and commenting on it, and also doing narcissistic gaslighting twists on it. Okay, see, gaslighting twists on it. Um, so that yeah, this narcissistic double abuse tactic is a big part of talking. And it's not only narcissistic double abuse tactics. Don't believe people that try to make it's just harassment, bullying. No. The narcissistic double abuse tactics is like the bulk of the targeting. Like the notice targeting day to day is like the narcissistic abuse, the harassment, noise harassment, all these different things. Um, there's also physical targeting. Like food poisoning, being sprayed with chemicals when out in public. Covert entry is part of how where the program wants to gain entry to your private quarters when you're not home and be able to undisturbed contaminate environment, contact chemicals or poisons, uh, poison your food and things like this. Which is why I made videos teaching other teachers how to set up a budget. Uh, secure system. It's not pie in the sky. See, it's something that most sort of videos could be able to do. It's like feasible. It's within reach. It's not unattainable. It's not like a pipe dream pie in the sky thing. Where it's like, yeah, to stop covert entry, you need to go to this like Securitas or something. This is a Swedish security company, and you need to buy like their home security pack, and it has like sensors for the windows and three cameras that are down to the security center or somebody's like in the call center looking at the CCTV footage. And in case something weird is sent like a call or something like this, and they're backing up the videos, and it'd be like, yeah, how much? Well, for the starter pack, it's like $900. No, $1,200, $1,200, and then it's like a $50 fee per month or something like this. And a lot of TIs are not like well off enough to be like that be an easy thing to put money on. So this is like a something is the beauty is that it's simple and it's effective and it's cheap. So the TI and like level one security system, it's all you need is a Android phone, access to the Google Play Store, which is the same thing as saying an internet connection. Okay, so an Android phone and the Google Play Store, and I had to learn these things the hard way by having code entry and being hurt by it, and then having to figure out, improvise that overcome. Okay, and most stars will never get to a point where they're able to be creative and uh, have ingenuity in this. So I've had to hurt. I had to be hurt by some target tactics before I figured out ways to block them. Meaning, like I had to be hit at the level and see a heart attack on a shotgun or something similar. Something that caused damage, permanent damage. Could be a boss like failed assassination attempt. Uh, to be like, oh, this is another move the pro can hit me with. Okay, and now we need to figure out a way to make them unable to do the same attack again, say, or at least make it harder. Okay, and you don't want to have this be brainwashed by fake TI, fake like wolves in sheep's clothing. But if they want to kill you, they can do it anyway, and they're working to manipulate you into having a mindset of complacency, where you are complacent and be like, because and that appeals to the flesh. That like tell you what you want to hear because laziness is part of human nature. So it's like if you tell me, if I tell you how I live and recommend it to you, be like, you need to be doing this. Standard operating procedures. Okay. You need to wear special clothes to make it hard for people to target you. You need to have a CCTV system. People are, wow, there's a lot of stuff. Okay. And now it's more likely they want to choose to believe a voice who's like, don't worry, they're not doing covert entry. If they do covert entry, it's just to mentally target you, okay? To make you feel messed with because you know somebody was inside your home. Okay. Then it's not to poison or anything, okay? The person has a voice for the program, okay? Yeah, this is something we had to worry about because if you really worry about it, you'll be more motivated to make it harder for the person to do that to you. Okay. So the real reason they do covert entry is not just to mentally target you, like make you feel, oh, I know they've been inside. Like they leave a Q-tip on your laptop notepad or something like this, and you come home, you're like, oh, this Q-tip was there when I left. They've been inside. And like, oh, I feel messed with. That's not the only reason to do things like that. They go inside your home to poison your food, drug your food, or poison your food, contaminate environment. There's something called contact poisons, contact chemicals, where they can put something on the surface. This might be part of why it's like one of the most likely ways to try and murder me is to poison with fentanyl or something like this. See, and it accomplishes two things: it kills you, and then it's like discredits you because it's like, oh, he was on drugs. That's why I was talking about the gun target and stuff like this. And I didn't pull this out of thin air. One of the most common things that the cyber stalks in the chat come by is like, you're on meth, this guy's on fentanyl, this guy's a crackhead, this guy's on drugs, stop doing meth. Uh, okay, tweaker. This is like some of the most common like attacks against cyber stalks in the chat. So that's one of many poisons they can use to target you. They can is contact poisons, contact drugs. Contact meaning you don't have to ingest it orally, or what, or like up your ass, or snort it, or smoke it, or something like this, for it to get in your body and affect you. It's like there's things that you can put substances on your fingers that are absorbed through the skin and into the bloodstream. So that's called transdermal absorption, which is part of my health fitness coaching. I talk about how to get less toxins into your body per day, week, month. And I recommend not putting these chemical shampoos on the body because that's a toxin too. Then I support transdermal absorption means absorbing through the skin. So there's things that you can put on a door handle, and somebody touches it without gloves, and they're absorbing it through the skin, and it starts affecting them. Okay, that's a contact drug. So there's contact poisons, contact drugs. When you touch something, you absorb it, and it affects you. So anyway, support covert entry. Okay, so the solution is this: all you need is for the level one. All you need is an Android phone, uh, access to Google Play Store, and then you download a timestamp camera app. Okay, and then you start a recorder. So you plug in the charger, you plug in the charger, you start a timestamp camera video, filming the inside of your front door. You want that to be the only feasible way to enter into the apartment without breaking an entry, without leaving obvious signs of breaking something. Okay, so you make sure that it's like it's not easy to like somehow like Jimmy open your window and get it open without like breaking the glass. You want to be like obvious if they got inside. They had to like break something obvious to get inside. Okay, so you want to make everything else secure. So the only like reasonable, like feasible way for the point to enter or anybody else without breaking something is the entry exit way that you use. That's the one you use. So you have a timestamp camera, film the inside of the front door. Ultimately, you have an analog clock in view. And okay, now on top of that, level two is recommended. You have a live stream going. So that's how I do it. If I'm gonna leave, I have a timestamp camera video filmed inside the front door, and then I'm live like this from over here on my laptop, and I can obviously like, move it to another place. So that's a good system. It's live stream and uh, other things. So I support. This world is controlled by satanic psychopaths, narcissistic psychopaths, narcissists and psychopaths. Which is why me being on video is like the daily news, where or the matrix, where the system, like matrix, people are controlled by the system authority. So I get targeted by celebrities, influencers too. And I know that sounds crazy, but I said I got to call and say I'm not gonna mince words like that. So I have said, well, I'm not dumb. I mean, I understand that it's like that's not really helping my case to make people believe me if I bring out these true details about the targeting. There's like celebrities saying all it. And if I subscribe to an influencer on YouTube, like a big one, a sports athlete on Instagram, most of the time they start targeting, posting narcissist almost abuse tactic visuals on the story or something like this. So anyway, I'm a persecuted Christian talking video. I'm talking with gangs talking videos, and there's several Christian ministries, pastors, Bible teachers talking. We do the Bible church is a gang stalking church. Okay, they're Protestant Christian program. Rafik Arnold is another one. Jack Smacks 77, and uh, yeah, and Andy Woods, Robert Baker, Jack Smacks 77, do the Bible church and Brandon Holthouse. And it seems to be more the rule than the exception that Christians will participate in the program. So, another way down code with narcissist always tactics is people are agents these people will get sent out to you know, time to whatever outside small. They can do the same person, like after a while, that the people in the church will like we understand the frequency is to check the chance. If I go out here like all three in the front of the mouse. If I go out here smoking, it's like there's a woman that leaves there. And then there's like a loud conversation on the phone. It's usually previous. And then it's like another day I go outside. It's like, oh, this is the same lady leaving again. And then acting real, okay. And it's like, there could be another person. Like a lot of times somebody will exit there, and it's this person. And they will act and maybe matches like how the phone will climb up. It could be having loud conversations with people. One interesting thing, and I'm not certainly not saying the neighbors enforcement against all, but I want to talk about strange behavior in the neighborhood. Now, one of the that's changed. One of the ways to progress is like digitalization. Now, the people is happening, but also time. The background is okay with this photos. And they send my life to go. So sometimes if I can guess not to the people are going to check especially for some of my things. So now we send this person, yes, this is not stop my this is it's on whatever God said to me at that time for this session, because I'm speaking the truth about something. Then what? Because this falls in. We like it. This is all. Okay. Yes, yeah. So one of the core tactics is for a while they had time when I was still talking to heads of people. And it was this guy, what's he called? Where is somebody? I don't feel it. It's how because I went where I was. But you was me before the COVID started, doing short sessions. And he actually might be said, Nephilim, not real here. It's a service. It's like small statements. They're all those that's the organization. So all the evil stuff is like if you look at the Holocaust, it's like I'm a psychopath. I want to get the masses to learn to church and conducive to achieve that design out is dehumanizing, which is religious. I like to hold against the time village. I want to like murder this woman. It's like, hey, she's a witch, okay, working for Satan, okay, and your kids getting sick in the village. Is this woman in the witchcraft, okay, casting spells on it is like a cool system, okay. Yeah, she's casting spells, okay. It's just casting spells. And then now you want to, so if you can get the people to have a decent reputation, maybe not a real human, maybe English of God, this sort, okay, it's harder to get people to use them poorly. But so it's like it helps, you want to use it around the person, the person simply doesn't have a soul, like they're a demon really beautiful, something like this, okay, they're deep, beautiful, okay, beautiful. So everybody said, yeah, so they did that to the Jews too. We want to talk about not talk videos, so but Jews. Okay. Now what does it what do they do? Before the talk gets slow, the Jews anthropomorphic, what's that? A mix of a human and an animal. So that's the humanizing. Because it's more animal, less human. Okay. So it's like a Jew. It's made in image of God. So it's like, oh, we want to take people to know the Jews. And then all says, yes. Organic forces. It's like the Jew is like a bad. The Jew is like after the Jew. Okay? It's like false like the Jew is a cancer society that's spreading and we have to cut the cancer out. They can't just do it. This type of stuff. So it's so powerful to do. Somehow these are like intrinsically like bad and worse as a person, not food. Okay? It could be like the plague on Jews, the virus on Jews, see? And this type of stuff. Or if it's living like this, you're like a crazy person or you God person. Which means she's not like a real human. She's more like a demon. She's a witch. And now you can get people thinking you're really expressed like a witch, like some kind of wrong thing, and now you're doing something else. It's easy to get your attention from that piece. So like all the videos this person you're going to like that. So where's I going with this? Victor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor. He had this one quote, man search for meaning for the promise. A man that has a wife who can always have a promise. Holocaust survivor. Another, I had a small sense of confidence. That is important. That is important. It's not. He said the best of us did not survive. This word is saying about the Holocaust. The best of us, few of us leaders did not survive. Which, right, we look at how so it makes sense. You could like you apply more. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see how that could be the case. Let's say I have a virus in our space or whatever. It has Africa, said people. And they had this virus there. Let's say they had 100 Jews each year in five France there. And they didn't have like first class hotel experience. It's like the most efficient, low cost, having people able to sleep or something so they can be energized enough to work hard for free tomorrow. Okay. I'll take that. I understand. So that's the foundation. It's like designed to not more necessary. It's not the same. So the Jews, the best was not survived. So you think is about 100 people is buried. And if it's smaller now, okay, let's say it's like men is buried, women is buried. But let's say you had 100 men, if it was all like that. You have a bread for 100 men living in this bird. and you have like everything from uh, 50-year-old boys to 95-year-old people. Okay, and less like those young people still be like them. That's the point. You're gonna have some people that before they got adopted by the Nazis in Korea, they were caught. There's some people who were, some people were like jewelers, there's some people were whatever, like common professions. Some people were violent, some people were this and that. Let's say you have a guy there that's a Jewish rabbi, okay? And he's been a rabbi since he was a kid, or like trained to be. And his life has been like being a guy that I would use to adopt as an example of rabbi, like a good person. So it's like this guy's going to go to rabbi, like, hey, I got some issues, and help me out. It's like somebody that teaches the rabbi how to be a good Jew. See? And part of the Jewish system is going to be like Old Testament law, thou shalt not kill, steal, things like this. It's like stealing bad, okay, that's the law. So it's like, do you understand? So a rabbi is going to be more likely to be like, do you understand, like a die-hard, like a right and wrong, okay? And he's been holding servants or whatever the equivalent of the Jewish system is to be like, don't steal, okay? It's evil to steal, okay? You shouldn't steal, especially not from another Hebrew, okay? Like another Jew. It's very bad to steal, like the American is taught to stealing and how evil it is before. And it's like a Jew is supposed to be viewed his rather than things like this, not the fraud, not the things like this. Then, okay, and I was in a Holocaust camp, and he's been like studying like the Torah, the Old Testament, like these things, the same, don't steal, don't like do your brother dirty, okay? That really not Jew. And he's been teaching whatever, practicing it, and things like this. And it's in Holocaust camp. Okay, I can see how a person like that would be less likely to like steal like a potato from the Jew next to him if that represents itself. See, because it's stealing. See, where so the best one was not surprising. So that makes sense. A guy like that, like let's say there was a Jew, there was like a Hitler Jew, meaning that an average sample of people are going to have some people worth. It's not like no Jew has done bad things. So you're gonna have at least one Jew in America that was a maybe a thief before that doctor this. Or like a guy who was, I don't know, seeing hookers all the time someplace. Like having more people with the best woman. Okay. Now he's more likely because it's like these circumstances, he's already outside stealing and cheating people, maybe at the street school or something like this, scamming people. And I'm not you're gonna have this black people, white people, Swedish people, hell of 1,000 people at least one seat there, okay, like a individual seat, okay. So it's important. Or somewhere like that. So a person is like a criminal that ends up in a Holocaust camp. He's more like has the skill set as psychology for the kind of survival in the way that it serves him. See, narcissistic. So it's like against antisocial behaviors and another Jew. It's like go do something, his potato, he's dead takes it and the Jew goes, the worst part potato is like I don't know. Okay? You see? And people that have more calories are like to survive. Because someone has stopped that. Like that's part of our killing. Okay? So basically a Jewish rabbi is easy to see how he's like less likely to end up stealing bread from another Jew. Whatever the food was like a potato and food and an apple, or whatever the guy had. Whereas like he's more likely to steal food from another Jew. Less likely to steal food from another Jew. If he's a rabbi, like his life is with his job to teach what right and wrong, the Torah, like Old Testament, and it's like thou shalt not steal, so he said the Ten Commandments and everything else. It is more likely to have laws about like stealing from other Jew. See? And be like, I'm not going to trust God, I'm not going to steal food from another person. And okay, I'm just going to pray and trust God. It's more likely that response to be like looking to defraud our users differently. So Frank said the best was not survive. And if you think about it, anybody do it, like, yeah, the Jews right at the Holocaust concentration camp, they will be less likely to steal food from another Jew. And if you're in a Holocaust camp, malnourished, you're more likely to die. Okay, and you can go down to like being like the guy who does the autopsy. But it's like if a Jew collapsed in the Holocaust, okay, digging ditches, okay, and it's like they collapsed and died, okay, over heart attack or something like this, whatever it is, like the actual like end thing that is like broke, okay, heart attack something like this. Well, they most likely wouldn't have had that like collapse response and like just pass out and die if they hadn't been malnourished, okay, for a long period of time. See, if they were well fed, they probably could deal with a few more days at least. What happened this? Okay. So, anyways, the point. So, yeah, Victor Frank said the best of us not survive, which means if I look at things in the negative, because I haven't sold out the program, like fake TIs. I believe some TIs start being real TIs, and then turn fake, like a couple Jew. See, like a couple Jew. They say that's the worst insult a Jew can say to another Jew. Call him a couple. Okay, so couples were like a class of Jews. Where it's like, and this is like a Jew, it's like Jew, it's like a type. You do like type stuff, type culture. You have like a Jew as a type. This is even used technically, but people are lost. It's a Jew, a guy who betrays a close person, someone close to him, for some kind of benefit of that. Get it, not abuse that. So you also have like Jews, like a couple. So what is a couple? A couple Jew, one was a couple. It was like you had the masses of Jews being horribly abused. And then some Jews got like a job to do certain tasks for the Nazis, and they were being perfect treatment. And the cops might do things like rat out other Jews, like let's gonna work and I'm doing this or something like this. And then the cop was like, this is Jew that's like kind of looks like this working slow. Be like, hey guys, you gotta do the third one from the left. He's working slow. And then comes like the extra or a picture about the life or something. Work faster or something. Next time you get shot. For me. So this type of thing. Or dragging the corpses of the deceased using the dressing. Or maybe like cooling TV. But that the Nazis wouldn't have a problem with like doctors and camps and they didn't know they had points about but it's like it's something that's kind of like picking dogs. You understand? It's not about that you have these squeaks, okay? But it's more like it's a not clean poison. It's like it's clean poison or something that you from copper juice was like during the Holocaust that they got the Nazis talking about Jews. So that basically would apply like a call to any person that's like a call of people that switches to work. And now that's how that and what this leader is like wasn't the sort of one of what he has that is like this is the person that we do to one of what after this world is like I can't nice. Anybody that stops having to do it, and that's what's working. You're like a couple, more or less. If you're talking about what you need to be prepared for, yes, before you can buy it, that's the one. Yeah, no, say when it's the problem, if you gotta read it, then might be one of the told me that how well, he was a poet. People appreciate works of art or history. People, people appreciate works of art which is like a woman who is regular, more like and that's the fire. And it's something that we go through first, it's not to appreciate song, with the lyrics, also happening overcoming the so anything, fact or fiction, that deals with yours, would be yours. No, I suppose. I've been told it for more than a decade, and I'm going to say to most people, that's not a question because I live with a six pack and I perform at higher level physically. They both is doing class because my performance is so it's like how much is drugs. So you know you really want to do so well with people and what they yeah, so protocol that get in the neighborhood or to the people, same time with Exodus call, where some people will be sent out to like the sheer public, and the time and the frequency of that is the problem. And the behavior, it's like you're being denied to deny the freedom of all. No, getting cookies and loops or something like this within music. So, uh, that's how the framework drop. I don't know what I support. Oh yeah, okay. So here's an interesting thing on the topic of the neighborhood and where things going on. So there was a period of time that I remember when I was still kind of like active in the comment section of other Christian channels. Now I produce more content and consume and I communicate with other people like writing comments and things like this. A lot of times I end up getting blocked. Like I didn't get blocked on Edge channel for like threatening anybody or doing something like that. It's just disagreeing with them. See, and reproving his errors and him feeling possibly threatened by my superior, by being superior in competence and knowledge in other ways. It's like envy. Okay, that's my analysis. Anyway, it's a point. But here's the point. So back when I was commenting on this guy called Phil, okay, from Australia, I think it was, China, and Ed, okay, and he will make a video and make engage in the comment section. And there was a guy, he was a cyberstalker, I believe, worked for the program. And he was sent in. One of the things he started doing was work to dehumanize me. That Mike is not a real human. Uh, he is a Nephilim serpent seed, like spawn of the devil. His bloodline is of Satan. Okay, he's a Nephilim, like a serpent seed. Uh, and it's like he doesn't have a human soul. He's not a human. He doesn't have a soul. He's a Nephilim serpent seed, meaning of Satan. Okay, you know. Okay, I don't know, it's like grandchild of Satan or something like this. That's the point. And there's a guy called Ellie Shirley who's responsible for putting out this type of garbage. And this type of itching ear, the type of comedy will not endure sound doctrine, but after all lusts shall the heap themselves teachers having itching ears, and shall be turned away from the truth of the faith or something to that effect. The Bible talks about this. So that type of stuff is rapture speculation. Okay. This is like itchy ear type stuff. Rapture speculation videos. Uh, who is the Antichrist focused? Was like, is Donald Trump the Antichrist in videos and things? Or this guy is Macron, is the Antichrist, okay? He is the Antichrist. And things like this. This is like each he's the Antichrist, okay? Antichrist, who is the Antichrist? The rapture speculation, Lord Brett maybe was like that. It was like, and he's like a Logan Court of this, where it's like he wants to be able to give the impression that if you click his video, you might be able to figure out what date the rap is going to happen specifically. but he doesn't want to be able to be like called out as a heretic. He's like working to get people to think that they can learn what day the rapture happened by clicking his video. So he wants to have it both ways. So he wants like get the traffic from making rapture prediction videos, which yields a monetary gain for him being monetized. Okay, without other Christians going like, hey, this is ridiculous. Like there's people that go like, this is the day, okay, 100%. And then if the day passes, it's like now they're laughing stock and they like sacrifice the credibility. And a lot of times they don't make that much money from rapture speculation. Okay, so that's the point. Harold Camping was the guy who predicted the rapture. Okay, and the date came and went, and the rapture didn't happen. So that's the point. Uh, the Bible teaches that no man can know the day or the hour save the Son. Jesus Christ knows the day of the hour. Now, you're not gonna be, you can't know what day the rapture is going to happen. That's the simple truth. You will not be able to figure out what day the rapture happened. And this, like man's plan is like God says, don't do this, and you can't know this. It's like, I feel like I will be as God. I will know spiritual things that God has says man cannot know. Okay. So God has decided not to be able to know what the rapture happened. You won't know the day of the hour. You're not going to be able to know it's going to be this day. Okay. You won't know. But Rock Bakers make videos to the tune of, will September 23, 2023 be the day of the rapture. And then the video is like, oh, yeah, so the Jews looked, there'd be a blood moon and like Orion be into Pisces and this star over here. And also there's a newspaper article about Israel is going to have a peace agreement or something like this. And it's like, yeah, I'm not saying it's the rapture, but it could be. So it's like he's getting people to feel like if they take his videos, uh, they can figure out what the rap's going to happen. And I can tell, like, after he made one video, that's one of his like hidden videos, where he got like, if you click his channel and go like popular and filter his past uploads based on popular, the rapture videos are going to be top 10. So what I think is like he made one video, it's like, wow, like YouTube monetization, whatever those views translate to money, if it's like $5,000 or $15,000, it's like ka-ching, ka-ching, okay, and it's like if it's not broken, don't fix it, okay. And then where he becomes like a pattern of behavior now, where someone make rap speculation videos and okay, and then he gets clicks and he gets money, and he might justify more people the gospel or something like this. Okay, yeah, we're supposed to be pure. So yeah, anyway, that's the point. Rod Break is not on his passage, how one wants his stomach's abuse tactics, and I suspect he'll do the same over. Now, if you're a Christian pastor, you're told us don't these tactics. What I talk about, that's a way down persecuted by the persecution program. And you start doing it, and you get suspected of being on the target. Who's that for? Okay. Okay. So that's the point. If I would be wrong about this. Okay. So it's like if you dress up like a moose in moose hunting season and walk around all four, okay, in the woods, and you get shot. Okay. Did you feel like you had some responsibility that you got hit there? Okay. Or like you're talking video out here, this crazy talking like, oh, this is fake, this like this. Oh, if you heard of a real tale, if that's the truth. Well, if you walk, talk, and quack like a duck, and people go, you're a duck, buddy. Okay. Here's the point. If you were a duck, if a duck cracks in the woods and there's nobody there to hear it, doesn't feel like a sound. You would know, okay, if you were all these people. You would probably hang out in the woods, smoking crack and doing alcohol. That's what you do. As part of like a cult brainwashing. West Law is well dressed like a duck. That's somebody. And then you have you dressed like a duck and you're all walking the same way, cracking. That's what it is. Yeah, what? Yeah, that's right. I was watching British underwear handballs before, so like into yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I suppose. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You got dirty underwear. I found a British lady who was making a video on how to clean underwear, dirty underwear, hair washing. Okay, and yeah, so whatever. Here's another thing. Every day shout out requests on my shout out email where people send a shout out request. And some people have been asking for shout outs if I can shout out to friends going through a dark time. So I get a lot of shout out requests from people. I have a friend that's going through a dark time and they're walking the bright day. I'm like, shout outs for this. I also had a guy called Gabe, okay. And I'm not going to give the full shout out right now, I'll say it later, but this guy called Gabe, somebody asked if I could shout him out. Okay, the guy has some kind of rash, and yeah, he's suffering. So he suffers some kind of disease, some kind of rash or something like this. And his name is Gabe, and he suffers from like a really bored rash. And his friend wrote him and asked if I could give him a shout out to brighten his day a little bit, to kind of ease his discomfort for about 4 minutes. Can you give my friend Gabe a shout out? He had a rash like a bad itch and like a itchy rash and all over and and hemorrhoids too, bloody hemorrhoids. And I thought about it, possibly I could give a guy a shout out to help him feel a bit better. So yeah. So whatever I say, he's a big fan of the Mike Saha flexion videos. I do the videos for flexing shirtless. So okay, yeah, whatever. So you can take that to the back and cash it in, and just tell them Max has it. You write everything sit down on a piece of paper, and you go to the prosecutor in the city, and you tell them that you think that Mike was uh, making a joke there. Okay, and you put you stick that down on it. And see wrong. Okay. What is the point? Okay. I gotta finish up. Yeah. This is actually the bonus. I was still having a good time. I was working on getting a message out myself. I got into this and enjoyed myself. So what is the point? Freedom and free, baby. Don't let anybody tell you this. So here's the thing. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna give you an actual real world example now. Okay. I'm gonna give you an actual example. Okay. Of an interesting event on the topic of strange things in the neighborhood. Okay. I have been harassed by people, cyberstructure for the problem online, saying that I'm a Nephilim. Okay. Okay. And I believe these people that have been doing this online are work for the program. Well, that's part of the like Christian communities. Just Mike is a Nephilim serpent seed. So on Phil's channel and Ed's channel, this guy was active. There's like Mike is a Nephilim, a serpent seed. I have every right to say Mike size a serpent seed, Nephilim, not a real human, doesn't have a soul, something like this. Okay. Uh, because that's part of how Mike's acting in a community. And possibly we can get some freaks to believe this, okay, and then get them recruited to participate in targeting. And if they look at him like a demon spawn, it's easier to get them to do really wicked stuff then, because you do need to demon on him. So I support. Now, and then also, if you're working for a program that's working to target someone until they die, that is the sin of murder. Uh, if you can get them to think the person doesn't have a soul, it's like, well, the person dies, uh, and the program might also be like, and they're not saved, they're not a real Christian, okay? So it's like, well, if they're a lost person trying to talk a Christian into murdering a person, so well, that's a lost soul going to hell. I'm supposed to be a person like, keeping souls out of hell, not helping to send them there, okay? So it might be a hard sell. So if you can get them to think they don't have a soul, so it's like if they die, it's like they don't have a soul anywhere. Uh, Another thing that I've seen is church that believe the reprobate heresy are more likely to be involved in the targeting, which is also something that I can see how if you got a Stephen Anderson, Jack Smith, something like this, two people are talking for the Gangster program. Stephen Anderson, Faithful Word Baptist Church, and Jack Smack, Christian Gang Stalkers. Both of them believe and preach the reprobate heresy, rest in the word reprobate. And they teach that there's a certain type of person that's extra bad cannot get saved, they pass that point of return, and it's like no matter what, they can't get saved, like the unsaved or damned. Okay, that's a reprobate wrestling heresy. And obviously, that's something if you analyze it, it's like, yeah, if you got a cult of Christians and you want these Christians to participate in Polish work to destroy somebody's life and then murder them, if you can get them to think like, well, they're like extra bad, wicked, same as like a witchy or an Nephilim, see, or a Jew in World War II. There's like a rat or a cancer. So it's like there's this really bad thing, dehumanize them. And then also it's like, and if the guys like they would have gone to hell anyway, they can't get saved, so they're irreformable. They're bad and they cannot get better. See? So this is obviously something that's conducive to be able to get people to go along with the strong person. See? So anyways, the point: Christian ministries being the reprobate doctrine, beware of them. Okay, for being heretics, one. If you're told video, they obviously have to work us down to get to torture because if they believe that there are people that are unsavable, reprobates, are like demons spawn more or less. Now all they gotta do is convince these people that you're that, and now they can target you. So anyway, that's the point. Yeah, so one of the talk types I got on YouTube in Christian communities, me being a Christian, is people like one person go out saying Mike's a demon, a Nephilim, serpent seed, that's not before, a Nephilim. Okay. And notice how they will work to enrage you. And I find this interesting. It's like throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks. And the things that infuriate me get me to lose my mind. Like this is hurting the most. And what they're going for is work to describe me, make me look unhinged and crazy. So if you okay, so they're working a lot as in the chat to treat with narcissist always use tactics to if I'm calm, more calm than I want me to be, and kind of remember things and teaching stuff. If they get like, why don't you motherfucker like stab the table like this, that kind of ruined if it was up at that point, kind of like an academic lecture type video presentation style. It was like presenting facts and kind of being calm and not that drawing. Okay, and like or it's stressful in my delivery. And then suddenly it's like I lose my mind because of what people write in the chat, like sorts of okay, it's like that, like start screaming cuss words. That now I look more irrational, and people might have a hard time believing what I was saying down the talk because a stress state is part of mental illness for real. Many people are schizophrenic sometimes are stressed. They're stressed due to the delusions. So part of real mental illness is being in a stress state all the time. So if you are stressed, you will be interpreted as people appear to be less sane. Okay, basically. How other humans will read you if you're super stressed is you will appear to be less sane to them. Without cognition, they're not like, oh, this person is talking. And the intensity of speech, volume, and body language indicating stress makes me think that it might be insane. No, 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 that's not what's happening. They see you and they just feel, real this guy's nuts. Okay. And end up saying something without thinking anything necessarily. So anyway, that's the point. This is the thing is this. So yeah, I was harassed by people in the chat in the comment section, Mike's and Nephilim, okay, and that was one of these things. They're back then. Now if I look at Mike and Nephilim in the chat, I'm unlikely to lose my mind, okay, but it was something that was one of these things that really. At a point in time, I was mad, and like in my YouTube streams, mad, but it's like this dehumanizing me, saying I'm a Nephilim, and it's like this is part of okay, that was really making me mad. So what they will do is like use what bothers you the most, and I kind of double out on it. So, interesting enough, what they part of the target text is called sentiment exit, where like neighbors that were for talking. If you talk the video, you might notice when you come home, the neighbors take out the trash at the same time as you're arriving home. And the next time you go outside, the same neighbor is opening the door for some reason and walking past as you're going outside. And over time, it can be like this can't be chance. It's happening too often that I run into this neighbor, like above statistical probability that this frequency of encountering this person would transpire this frequency. But the point, it's above chance. It's like if I would flip a coin and get 100 tails in a row, like this can't be chance. I'll give you an example. A lot of the targeting is like how you know you're targeting. It's not that you're crazy. The opposite of what they would say, like, oh, you're crazy and paranoid, reading too much into it. No, you would have to be delusional, crazy to deny it. It'd be like if somebody sent me a link, hey Mike, here's a flip a coin website. I did like I have a website, Flip Record. Okay, I want to check it out. I go there, I hit Flip Record. It's like heads, and I hit Flip again, heads, and it's like 37 times now. It's been heads every time I click like the virtual online Flip Record, and it's like if I get it to 100, and I have gone like this is rigged somehow. This is not chancy. This is can't be chance. It's very unlikely to be chance. Okay, okay. Uh, I think my body is this like a troll. Okay, or something like this. He rigged it. It's rigged somehow. Where it's like it's programmed to give tails 99 times in a row or something like this. Okay, and that would be insane to think that this is not chance at all. And you'd be delusional and rational to be like flip a coin virtually and have 99 heads in a row and go, this is chance. Okay, I believe it. Okay. So it is kind of like that. So anyway, one of the things that got me the most enraged and mad was one of the song tags was in Christian community people are saying I'm a Nephilim, not be a human. Okay, I don't have a soul. Things like this. Okay. And that's one of the things was like one of the things I really lost my mind on my YouTube. Just like, it's like slamming the table. It's like say I'm not a human kind of stuff. Okay. And I come home and it's like as I come out from the elevator, the neighbor opens his door to receive a pizza, I see. And he's wearing a t-shirt that says nothing on it. And this person is also done other things that I think I can't do. See. This is the type of stuff that can happen in the neighborhood. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So uh, another time, he as I left, it's like oh, at the same time he goes leaves as I'm going outside to get in the elevator. Same time at the exit. I mean, at the same time I leave, the same person comes and gets to the elevator. Get in the elevator, and he's standing there he's on the phone. Okay, and says use networks like oh yeah, all right, and do like things that could be direct to speech, but like that. Okay. Where it's like part of one of the things I say on the phone a lot of times, a messenger. If I talk to someone, it's like, all right. That's one of the things that I say. Like someone says something, kind of like, I'm gonna eat. All right. See, this one is words that I use, like okay or all right, but that person a lot of times end up saying all right. Okay. He's like, all right. He's like, talk to me. Yeah, all right. On the phone. Okay. He's like, all right. Yeah, and I'm going to the washing machine, the laundry machine, living my rock star lifestyle or something like this. Like just bizarre behavior. Okay. And the different words that I've heard other people use before, and it could be connected to a gaslighting. So whatever is the point? Um, yeah, so gang stuff is the most online fiasco called on now. And I'm targeted. They recruit flying monkeys. Can be anybody from a plumber gonna come here to a dentist I got a appointment booked to, a cab driver, people in the neighborhood. They recruit people to be sort of flying monkeys targeted with abuse. Different types of abuse. Could be uh, and remember it's not just bullying, okay? It's not just narcissistic abuse, psychological warfare. There's also physical tactics. So one help I got after many years of being targeted is allergies to perfume. And now they start using that as a weapon, where they tell people to spray perfume on themselves, and then they can get close to it, like in the supermarket. It's like an augmentation of the tactics. Like part of the experience is going to the supermarket shopping, and they have people acting weird around it. And now sometimes if I stand there looking at like cheese or something, which I'm going to buy, the someone that comes there is a fly mark for the program, and like stands next to the aisle, kind of mirrors like look there, and they smell after that spray themselves like perfume right before leaving home. Okay, and different things where for sure they have done that several times, used perfume as like a weapon. Okay, because I'm allergic to perfume. Also, when I had a cab booked in advance, if you book something in advance, it's easy for them to kind of plan out where's the target you, and you know where you're going to be in some time. I had booked a cab, maybe it was my birthday, something like this, and like 3 days or more in advance. It's like, let's say it was uh, noon, okay, like 12, okay. It was booked the cab. to leave outside. And it's like 11:55. I'm leaving. Okay. Then I open the elevator, and it stinks like somebody's like sprayed perfume and dropped cologne on the floor. Not long ago. It's like grease on the floor. It's different types of this came down to it. So these are not the only ways the poker taught me physically. This poker has taught me physically. The dish is this. Despite all of the targeting, I'm in better shape mentally and physically than the average person. And energetic and athletic to probably people accusing me of being on drugs, like meth or crack or something like this. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm not allowed to go live again. Another way to target me is to get YouTubers. If I subscribe to YouTube, a lot of times I get the YouTubers start targeting the videos with narcissist targets tactics. I gotta finish up. And here I'm taking a break. I gotta finish up. Jag ska börja the video.